We ain't live.
We really are, bro.
All right.
What's Race Cafe, baby, where we talk about real stuff in real times, real situations with real people, but keeping the perspective on God's grace.
All my days I've been searching.
And welcome on behalf of Dwain Lynch, President and Executive Director of Grace First Steps Reentry Program. Did you know that around 650,000 returning citizens and recovering addicts are released into the community every year? 2/3 of that number are either rearrested or relapsed. More than half of that number return to prison or treatment within 1 to 3 years. The Grace Four Steps Reentry Program is a faith-based nonprofit organization with a mission to house, educate, and assist returning citizens and recovering addicts to reacclimate themselves back into society. Our vision is to reduce recidivism and relapse by offering services and tools to our participants that will help them to stabilize themselves effectively and sufficiently back into the community, helping them become productive citizens, reconnecting with their loved ones, and reforming their lives for better living. We are asking for your support in providing life-changing opportunities for our participants. Every contribution saves someone's life. Every dollar helps, and we are always grateful for any and every amount received. So do us a favor, go text the letters GFSR to 1-833-536-0718. Thank you in advance for choosing to donate to our organization.
What's up, family? Welcome to the Grace Cafe, where we talk about real stuff in real times, real situations with real people. But in this house, we keep this perspective on God's grace. What's up, man? Happy to see you guys. I don't know. I think we started kind of early. So you probably uh heard the Joker playing, which is something that probably got him dotted in the eye, back in the day. But it's okay. We in a new day. We talking about new stuff. You know what I mean? But what's up, Melly Mel?
What's going on, Dwayne?
Ain't nothing, man. You pushing that feline jump, man. I'm liking that jump. What size is
Your side.
that? That joint is tight, Mo. That joint tight. Hey,
Yeah, old enough to be tight.
yeah. But yeah, we can see you this week. You ain't ghost this week.
Yeah, I ain't look like a shadow this week. I don't know what was going on. Thanks for the ring. Thanks for the light.
Nah, no worries, no
I know it's
worries,
blind.
man. You know, um, we gonna talk about some stuff, like how we see the world. That's what we talking about this week. I think next week I want to try to have Rob on on the rock bottom, Joan. I was gonna do it this week, but I ain't get a chance to call Rob. But I think it'll be all three of us next week.
Yeah, I thought about Rob the other day.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
matter of fact, that was Monday.
yeah.
Monday, because I passed by. Is he still over there at that school? Ideal.
I don't know. I don't know. I know he goes to the shelter, to Emory Shelter, every week, and he feed them and have church service over there. So and
Oh,
matter of fact, Jessica preaches there on Sunday for Mother's Day, if I'm mistaken. So we'll
oh,
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see him on Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I told him that I wanted him to be on, but and he said he wanted to do the rock bottom jump. So I just didn't get a chance to call him this week. It was so much stuff going on. But what's been up with you, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just buried Randy, brother-in-law, Randy, Friday.
Oh yeah,
And
that's right.
yeah,
Shout out to Robin and the whole family, man. I know that I know y'all feeling that, but I just want to give
yeah,
y'all a shout out, man. Prayers up for y'all.
yeah, that with Randy, you know, Randy hit me kind of different.
Yeah,
We don't been to a lot of funerals and stuff, but for some reason, Randy had me like not sleeping right, not eating right at all. And I can't afford not to miss a meal. But it was just that Randy was such a good dude,
yeah,
and he helped a lot of people. It was like Randy, you never heard nothing bad about Randy. You never seen
yeah.
Randy upset. Even
Right,
when he was upset, you couldn't tell he was upset.
right,
It was. I think that had something to do because Randy was in the Marines,
right, right.
and uh, you know he was just the type of person that help, try to help anybody and everybody, and that's something that everybody in the church that knew Randy knew that about Randy. And uh, I've been trying to look at my nephew, holler at my nephew, talking to my nephews, keep their
Yeah,
heads up, Robin, and because tomorrow is his birthday. So we're gonna get up early and go back to the cemetery because they had him over there at Harmony. And you know me, Ma, I don't like watching that body going to the ground. I always sit in the car. I did that with my dad
right.
and stuff. Because I just like to remember that last time I seen that person, you know. And Randy, I always say he had that Sidney Poitier smile. And, you know, but like I said, he helped a lot, especially a lot of the veterans get their money, stuff that
Right,
was due to him and stuff. So he did a lot.
right.
Um, he truly gonna be missed, man. He truly gonna be missed. And
Randy
you
was
know,
about our age, or he was older than us.
62 in his birth.
62.
Well, he'll be 63 tomorrow.
Yeah, that is still young though.
Yeah, see what they don't tell you is that he was in Desert Storm,
Oh,
and
okay.
all them pathogens, and because you out there in the desert, you got the little stalls and everything, bathroom stalls, but it got to go somewhere. And what they did, they burned it,
What do you
not
mean?
thinking that the pathogens from manure is bad for your health. On top of
Yeah,
oil raining down on them, it just messed his body up.
yeah,
It really messed him up, and they caught up with him and stuff. But I told my nephew, told little Randy and Kevon that you know death is a part of life, and you know he did his job, and it was time for him to get rest because he would always put nobody, a lot of the church, none of them knew that Randy was even sick. You know, the kids, they was like, they couldn't understand this, they couldn't understand that. And I told them, well, coming from a father point of view, what we go through, we put on the back burner because we still got a job to do, and that's to raise your family.
yeah,
You know, I was just happy that he knew God, he found God again. So, I know he's in a better place right now. And
yeah, yeah.
Randy, you know, you can feel it. You can feel what's coming. And
Yeah,
he had mapped stuff out. He was so particular in mapping everything out. And that's exactly what he did. He had stuff set up so sweet, whereas they really didn't have to do too much. He
right.
even called he even called Robin a few days before, and say, "Hey, I need you to go to the closet." And it's an envelope up there because her birthday is Mother's Day on the
Right.
10th. And he said, "Your gift is in there." And she went, opened it, boom, he left the gift right there. He said, told her, "Look, later he be having this cream called Rejuvenate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good for your feet, skin, and everything." He said, "Look, there's 4 more jars of Rejuvenate in there." Lena always supporting buying jar and whatnot. He's like, "It's 4 jars left. Give them. Make sure you give them to
Dang.
Lena." He looked out for his niece down North Carolina.
Right.
He like, he just sent stuff and did everything ahead of time.
Wow.
And he refused the oxygen. So even though he went to rehab, because he was really messed up, he had pneumonia and COVID. But you know, like I said, he felt it and he was tired. You know,
Yeah, he was
but
just tired. I
yeah,
was talking. I was talking. I mean, it's just funny that you say that because I was talking to Jessica the other day, and I forgot what we was discussing. But I just, you know, people just don't know that a lot of men, man, they suffer, but they suffer in silence, man. And that's from where we come from, that's like a inner strength that a lot of men have, man. They want to see, they rather see everybody around them good
right.
than to see themselves good. So they just, they do everything that they can to pretty much make sure that those close to them, and even people that ain't close to them, making sure that they good, man. And what happens to them is really not important, long as those around him, long as those loved ones or whatever around him is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the
That's
thing we don't look for no backflips and all of that.
nah,
It's just the way we came up. It was always suppress yours, suck it up, and all
yeah,
of that.
yeah,
Which in a way was good, but in another way it wasn't. And even as you get older, like say you try to talk to your spouse about something you're going through, for
mm-hmm,
some reason they don't get it to the point where it's not intentionally, but they are making you supposed to be talking about you, and the next thing you're talking about her, if that makes sense.
yeah,
And she not knowing intentionally doing that, and then the man just shuts down because you try to. I seen this video one time, and the guy was sitting outside. He had a ball of rubber bands. You know how you get a rubber bands and just make a ball out of them,
mm-hmm,
and he was just taking them out, taking them out there, and said, "What are you doing?" And he was like, he's just sitting there, and he was like, "I'm looking at this ball of rubber bands, and each one I take off has been a year." And he was like, "I'm just looking at my life, right?"
yeah,
And he's starting to open up, and she flipped it and said, "Yeah, I was thinking about my life and all of that." And he just looked at her, didn't say nothing else, just looked at her, got up and walked away. She not intentionally not listening, but that's just how it happens. And that's why so many men suck it up, suppress it, because we don't really have that type of outlet. Now, say like with us, we come to each other, cry on each other's shoulder, or whatever the case may be. You might
yeah,
need to bring me down a couple notches. I might need to bring you down a couple notches. Just we older now and everything. But that type of bond with third world is different because every young man out here doesn't have that. Remember when I was talking about these young, they just need somebody to listen to them
yeah,
and talk to them, because they're just misguided beyond the way we was misguided
Yeah.
on like basic stuff on what it means to be a man. You know, like I said, you can a mother. I'm never gonna say a woman can't raise a man. You can raise them with certain qualities,
Right.
you know, but when it really comes to manhood,
Can't
you
teach it.
can't you can't teach that. The
Yeah.
only person that can teach that is another man.
Yeah.
And I mean, I always say this: mothers are supposed to raise babies into boys. The men supposed to raise the boys into men.
Right.
Just like the group said, boys to men.
Right.
When you get to
Nice.
a certain age, when
Yeah.
you get to that certain age, it's going to be a lot of questions that the mother just can't answer, on especially for black young men,
Right.
on the day-to-day stuff that they have to go through. When we growing up, you already know the little things we had to go through, and it's worse now, way worse. Everybody want to be a gangster until they come up against a real gangster. They run out here thinking that life is a game, and then when they behind those bars, that's when you see the little boy come back out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the
And
thing, though, man. It wasn't never. It was never, and that's what a lot of you know a lot of men these days. That's what they not getting. What they not getting is it was never meant for you know women to raise men. It wasn't meant for women to raise children by themselves, period. you know
period,
it was also always meant for a father to be in the home. And so when like in slavery and stuff like that, when they were separated from their families, then they was taking on these patterns that were taken up with, because I'm for real, back in the day, it was very seldom, man, unless the father died, or it was very seldom that you saw a man that wasn't trying to take care of his family, that wasn't home, trying to take care of his family. It that's not just how, kids were raised back in the day. I'd be thinking about moms, and how my grandmother had to raise three kids after my grandfather died. But the thing is that before, mom's was like 7 years old when he passed away, right?
yeah,
And that meant that my mom had to raise, three kids by herself, and but before that, you know, Gramps was in the military too,
yeah,
but he made sure what he did before, just like Randy, right? What he did before he passed away was he made sure that my mom was good and the kids was gonna be good. And so pretty much just because he was in the military, my grandmother was taken care of, man, till she passed away. And you don't really get that, man. You don't get that, because jokers, man, out here, they just 10 minutes. All right. Jokers out here just making babies, and they just going on about their business. And I'm like, man, you know that's why I've always been the way I've been, because I know what it's like. I know what it was like. Matter of fact,
right,
we know what it was like,
right,
that not having a male figure in the home.
right.
I used to
Especially in
envy you.
politics.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I used to envy you, man, because like when we was real young, and and pops used to get off work. I ain't gonna say your nickname, but but pop, I
Hey,
used to
man, say
notice,
yo,
man, that every day Pops came home. And we'd be on the field by the house, by the apartment. And we'd be in the field playing. And he'd haul out. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say
Say,
it. He'd haul out. Papu! And he always had something for you, man. And I used to envy that, man. But
yeah,
as
but
time went on, man, the dilemma that I was in at that time, we both shared that dilemma, and we had to get through it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But but for real, I think we took a page out Pop's handbook, you know, as far as what he did for his family or what he was doing for his family, and that's when we just always wanted to be there for family. And I think we probably made that, we made that declaration like early in life, man, before I even
real
met
good.
my father, you know.
But see, thing was this though, bruh. We made the decision to say, I'm not gonna be like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
yeah,
better. And that's something that a father always wants. And a mother. You want your child to be better than you were.
exactly.
I remember one time Lena had said, oh, you want little Melvin to be like you. Now you know that's when I had the quick fuse and all that. I turned around, looked at, said, let me tell you something. First of all, he ain't going down that road. Second of
Right,
all, he could never be me. He ain't built like me.
right.
And I'm not I I had to suppress Melvin at 11 because I seen that aggression coming up out of him at an early age. And I'm like thinking like, hold on, nah, I can't do this. I gotta stop short. I suppressed it a little bit too much.
Yeah,
But they call him the ghetto nerd. That's what family be calling him, the ghetto nerd. I'm good. I'm glad he a ghetto nerd.
man, be cool with that.
But he know both sides of the street. He can pick up something ain't right real quick. He know how to watch his surroundings. And he's smart as hell.
Yeah,
You know. So him, Tim, DJ, none of them been to jail. So I can pat myself on the back for that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because in times like I'm gonna let your child make a mistake, but when the mistakes start getting out of hand, then it's up to us as parents. Hey, hold up, you don't go about nah. This ain't happening.
you
Not
gotta
on my
pull them
watch.
up.
And if you want to be thick-headed, okay, run, run with it. Run that way you going. Let me know how it work out for you. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Because you can't be with your child 24/7.
yeah,
One thing I used to always tell Mo and DJ, I'm like, the little weak games they try to play, I like, and you playing catch up.
right,
Cause what you trying to do, we already done. Been there, done that. So we can see the BS coming a mile away. But it is what it is. Everybody got to learn. You
right.
need to learn the hard way or the soft way. you know. And everything, like I said, with everything that's going on out here today, we as blacks been under the gun,
For the longest.
and yeah, and they haven't broke us yet because blacks know how to prevail through the hardest and the roughest of times. Like
Right.
I told, we came up through Reaganomics, and
Wow.
us as kids know, like dealing with Trump and everything that's going on, uh, all the little underhanded things that he's doing, we saw, we seen,
We
and
already
we
seen it. Yep.
we, we overcame all of that. They can't get rid of us, period. No
They've been
matter.
trying. They've been trying for the
Oh,
longest.
they've been trying for decades,
Yeah.
centuries, you know. But then it's like we like cockroaches.
They
That's how I
always
said we
come
like
back.
cockroaches. because you could stomp the heck out of a cockroach
And you
and
think
you
that
think you
Joker
good,
dead.
and next thing you come back like, man, he gone. No water.
That's us.
You think that's gonna kill him? Nope. So
That's right.
everything they don't did, everything that they're still trying to do to us.
Yeah.
Like I told you, they're attacking the black man's masculinity right now
Yeah.
in this world. I still can't understand. I at first I couldn't understand why that blacks are the most hated group in the world. Tell me one other group of people, ethnic group of people who are hated everywhere they go. You
More than
can't.
us. More than us.
Wars than
No.
us.
Ain't none. Ain't
You
none.
can't.
Ain't none.
I don't care where we go at in the world. We're looked down on.
But I
And
think
it's only one reason, and
yeah.
that's
But
fear.
what I think is I think that they I mean in their minds they hate the color of our skin. But when I think about it or when I look at it, I think they just hate our resilience. How we, how they've been trying to press us down or degrade us, desensitize us, do all of this stuff to us, and we just still keep coming, man. You know, we still
It's,
keep
it's,
coming.
it's
I
that.
admire,
It's that. But they
it's a lot of
know.
people. Yeah, it's a lot of people we grew up with, man. That they was on one side of the street and we was on the other side of the street, and they was,
Mhm.
they was doing their thing in the right way, and we was doing our thing in the right and the wrong way, but we still was going the same way. We was trying to
Right.
survive, man. you know so
It
and
doesn't matter.
people just don't. That's why I picked that topic, how we see the world today, because people just don't see the world the way we saw it or see it, and they don't
And
see
they
it the
never
way we
will.
gonna see it, because it's just, man, everything is just all twisted up, man. Good is made to be wrong. I mean, good is made to be wrong, right is made to be, left, and they just twisting everything up, man. And just like we had to survive, get through that, we still got to do that, because I think, and in my mind, what I've always said is the hardest enemy to beat is the one you don't see. And so while
Yeah.
racism is not as evident or is not as visible as it was, when our
Oh,
parents was coming up, our grandparents was coming up, it's still here, but it's just not seen the way it was seen.
that's because they changed the sheet for a suit.
True. That's
They
true.
changed the sheet for a suit.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's 100% true. Uh, you remember back in, I think it was 84, 83, when the Klan supposed to come to DC, and me, you, and Greg was down there, and
Yeah, you know how that turned out.
yeah,
They
it didn't
tried.
turn out good for I remember that white girl and two white boys and sit there and in this and in that, and she caught that umbrella across her face, and that was all it took to kick stuff off right then
Yeah,
and there.
yeah.
Just to let you know, like, nah, we not our ancestors.
We
We
not.
not our grandmothers and grandfathers. We not our mothers and fathers. This is a different breed. You got to watch your tone and watch what you say out your mouth
Yeah.
nowadays, because everybody ain't taking that. I
No.
just seen a video early today, and I'm wrap this up. This man is a doctor.
Hmm.
Took his family to Paris, and he said he's just tired of being silent about what he's been going through
Right.
in different countries, airports, hotels. They still follow you around in the stores. They still clutch on to their pocketbooks in the elevator, and for what? Because A white person can move into a black neighborhood and is welcome. But when a black do that, he's not welcome. They're
Yeah.
not welcome.
He
Somebody is
judged.
going to come at them.
Yeah, he judged before he even get in there.
Exactly.
You know.
Without knowing. And it all comes back to fear. They fear us.
Yeah.
That's why they know, because we're smarter, we're stronger. It's just that the playing field is not level for us.
Right.
When they say you got to work twice as hard, that's true for us. We got to work twice as hard, if not three times as hard, and then it's still not level.
Right.
You know, uh, seen this other video where it's white girl. She got hired for a job, and they're still hiring people, and she quit the same day because they told her anybody with weird names, just throw them away. A Tashika, a Dante, any type of names, black names, toss that application away.
Really.
You see what I'm saying? So
Wow.
the discrimination is still there on
Yeah.
all levels. You understand? And for what reason? Because black people, now you do have some whites that will tell you, man, blacks I know they're some of the kindest people I know. They'll feed you, they'll clothe you, but they just have this stigma of us. The media is a big blame for all of that.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Uh, just the little fake behind assassination attempt just now. You did not hear them come out of the mouth, not one time yet, to say he had mental problems. But for every white person, he had mental problems. When
Mm.
Trump said about the kids in Baltimore, he said, and I commend Westmore for coming on TV saying and talking to the black kids of Baltimore, saying no. Because what Trump said was they're born killers. Blacks are born to be killers and drug dealers.
Wow.
Come on, man.
But
Come
he'll
on, man.
get upset if we say that they were born to be rapists and and
Pedophiles,
pedophiles. You know what I mean? They
mass
get
murderers,
offended by that,
serial
and that's
killers.
the truth. You know, that's the truth.
Fact. I don't know
Cause
if you ever seen the post that I posted up about incarceration.
yeah, no, I ain't see
Right.
it.
Well, just like they said about blacks are the ones that's on welfare, and debunk, come find out more white people are on it. Welfare was created for white people, and it's still more white people on it. Back in the Reagan era, the Reagans are the ones. Reagan was the one that came up with welfare queen and put a black woman face up there.
Wow.
It's a lot of things that we at our age are just finding out.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to blacks, when it comes to all the trickery that they've done to us and what they're still trying to do. Like I said, now they're attacking the black man's masculinity. You know, all that putting on
All
skirts,
right.
painting your fingernails, and Ugg boots. This world, United States of America, I say you can only be the bully on the playground for so long. And the way that Trump is going,
Yeah.
we're not going to be that bully on the playground much longer. He's
Yeah, but
tearing
he
this
gonna
country.
try to do it. He definitely gonna try
Oh,
to.
he
But
was definitely trying to do it because this time around, Trump ain't worrying about none of us,
yeah,
white or black. He worrying about his pockets. That man has made over $4 billion since he's been in office that we know about.
mm,
That's unheard of for a president, because that when you're the president, you're not supposed to make no money other than your little $175,000 a
yeah,
year.
you not supposed to have no businesses or
None
none
of
of
that.
that stuff. None of
Now
that stuff.
he got Trump tennis shoes, the Trump watch. Don't forget the Holy Trump Bible. He got Trump steaks.
The
Come on,
what?
man. Trump steaks.
I ain't
He
talking
got
about that.
steak.
I'm talking about the Trump Holy Bible. What?
Trump has a Bible out.
Okay, that's where we going to shut down the, because that I didn't know that, but I'm like, yeah, why?
Remember he did the photo op when the Black Lives Matter movement was going on, and he got them people, the National Guards or whatever, to shoot that tear gas at the protesters and all this and that. And he just wanted to do a photo op. He had the Bible holding up the Bible, and it was upside down. Now,
You
one thing
silly
I
man.
can say, no, it was. Now, one thing I can say, something that he said is 100, and Trump is one of the linest behind people I've ever seen. One thing he said with 100% truth. He said, I'm not going to heaven. I don't think he want me up there. You got that right.
Mm,
It's the only thing I can say. I'll take him at his word. Anything else? Nah. Him and his vampire looking behind white. I don't give a daggone. Come from me. I don't care. But anyway, you know,
man, that's that's something.
everything that we everything that we got to go through, uh, we just got to go through it. And blacks are masters at that. We
Yeah,
go through it, we get through it, and we come out shining every time.
every time, every
Every
time.
time.
Well, Mo, thanks again, man, for help me out with this topic, and thank you guys for tuning in. And we want to just ask you to like, share, and subscribe. We're talking about this for the next couple of weeks. We're talking about how we see the world today, because the world, man, is in a tailspin. Our grandparents used to say, man, the world is going to hell in a handbag, and I ain't going with it. Amen.
Amen to
But,
that.
thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time on the Grace Cafe. Peace.